grades. So I'm starting the session. So yesterday we have seen that how you can implement the validation in your rest assured. So we have a validatable response class, and using that functions, let me show you that. Using those functions, let me show this example. Using their validable response class, you can actually make your validation in one liner. We have used two things, like in the validation response, we have functions body. If you want to validate some data in the body, if you want to validate some data in the content, you can validate. If you want to validate something in the header, you can validate. At the same time, in the same function, you can use the functions of the matches class, so that you can compare that. Okay, you want to just check the value of the subject. It should be J mat, something like that, whatever you are expecting. Your age, the data of your age should be 90. So actually you can say this is the path of the, you can say your XML, and this is your expected data in the form of some functions. Okay, like in the header, you are expecting your content length should be 82. So in the same way, in case of response, when the response is just like a collection, like you can say student dot size, it will return the number of students in your table. How? Because in the response, your number of data is totally depends on how many times the student tag is present. So here you can check so many things like greater than, less than. If you watch the video, you will see everything I have explained here properly. Today I'm going to add some more things here, like in terms of framework, because we have seen that in the framework we should keep some common codes at some common place. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do it today. So how I'm going to do, let me create one thing in the base. I'm going to create a base class, something like we have created in the Selenium class, and we will give the name base. You can say base test, something like or test base. Okay, so now in our API, you have seen that this is a basic structure of your, test cases, right? Now what happens that we can write some common code in the base test file. Now in that case, I'm going to do one thing. I can write common codes here, like one function we need in case of API. If you want to attach the extend report, yes or no, public void. So we can create a function setup report. Can you remind this thing in your Selenium? No, or forget? Say yes or no. Okay, so if you remind, we use two functions in the base test in our Selenium framework also. Like first is to set up the report, and second is the save report. Okay, if you remind, we are not using any other function like open browser and close browser here, because that is not applicable in case of API, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Now in the setup report part, we are going to write a code so that we can set up the, so same thing I'm going to do it here. Same thing, whatever you have done in your Selenium. If you want to see, you can see in your Selenium what was there. I think this, your batch was this one, complete automation framework. I think this one. Okay. So if you go and find the data in your what is here in your test case, there is a base. So you can say actually same thing I'm going to do it here. Only the difference is that in the Selenium you have created a function open browser and close browser, right? But in case of API, because open browser close browser is not applicable, we can only add the report part. You are getting my point, yes or no? So for preparing the report, how many classes are needed? If you have revised, you can tell me how many classes of the extend report we use it. Anybody can tell me? These three classes, these two classes are here. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
You guys are not revising. You are not revising the Selenium. Okay, I'm sure. Okay, so you have to use these two classes, and then you have to write a code for, you can say, creating or attaching the report of your in your API automation. So in this first line, we have to write, what is the first line? HTML reporter. You will write HTML reporter equal to new extend HTML reporter. I'm sure nobody is going to tell me what is the use of this class, why I'm creating the object of this class. Anybody can tell me? I will be really happy if anybody will try to give me the answer. Anybody? No. So actually what we do, with the help of this class extend HTML reporter, we just give the path and name of the folder where we want to create the report. Now you remind, yes or no? New
Yes, yes,
folder.
Pradeep.
Okay, so I'm creating a folder here with the name of reports, reports. In the base, you can say, this is not our framework. Our framework is this one. I'm going to this one. So right click on your API, new, and just create a folder, and I will give the name of the folder reports. Okay, so now you will check this report folder is created here. Okay, so now here you want to save your report. So let me copy the path of this folder, this one. So this is the path of the folder where you want to save your report. Okay, so let me do
Pradeep,
one.
sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, tell me.
Sometimes see the means video user directive. What's the use of this?
Where you are saying user directory?
So when we define the path for report folder,
So where you are telling about? Where I have to, where you are saying that? Where you have seen?
certain the external reports in bracket. Sometimes I have seen somewhere they define user
Oh,
directory.
oh, okay, okay. I will tell you that thing also. Okay, I will tell you. Okay, I will tell you. Okay. So first of all, let me define this thing. Is it okay? I have defined this one. C user THQ Eclipse workplaces and this report. Okay. So now,
Yes.
and at the end of this, I'm going to give the name of report. For example, I will say that 18th batch automation report. Okay, automation report dot html. It is okay. So what I have given here, I have given here the path of the folder and with the name of the file which we want to use for our report purpose. Is it okay? Anybody have any doubt? And then in the second line, extend report, what we will do, just see here, we will write extend report equal to, I will call a thing HTML report, new extend reports. I will create the function extend reports. And then in the next line, we will call a function extend report. Anybody can remind? Extend report dot attach reporter. And in the attach reporter, we will pass the reference of this one. This thing is clear. Anybody who have a doubt? You can see here, same thing I have used in my base test also. So here, HTML reporter equal new extend reporter, and so that you can give the path of the report with the name of the file. Okay. Second, extend report equal to new extend report. You have to write. Then in the next line, extend report or attach. So in the this is the actual extend report, and in this extend report, you want to set this configuration. Means when extend report will generate the report, it will use this template. So HTML report is just like a template. Template means this will be the path and name of the file which you have used it in. Now in the save report, when the report will be saved, I will use a function that is called extend report dot save. Is it okay?
Yes.
In that case, instead of save, the function name is plus. So this is okay. Now tell me again, same question I asked at the time of, you can say Selenium. This function should be called, which annotation I should use for calling setup report and which annotation I use call for save report. Anybody can tell me at the rate?
Before shoot.
Excellent. Clapping for you. Excellent. Reason is that a report, setup report part should be start before running the single test case, and your report should be saved when all the test cases are complete. And what is the topmost hierarchy of the test engine? That is called suit. So before suit, we will start the reporting, and in the after suit, we will save the report. Okay. Yeah. This is good. Anybody have any question?
No.
Great. Now you can say it is very simple code. Here we are just creating a template. Template means just deciding the path of report folder and the name of the report. And this is going to work as a template. Then we have created the extend report. Extend report is the actual reference which is going to create the report for you. So in the extend report, I attach the HTML reporter path. So this your you can say setup report part is ready. This is the reference of extend report. Okay. Now when all the test case will run, we will save it extend report. This is clear. Okay. Now in between how all the test cases, like for example, in the put, we will see that this test case should be the part of our report. This test case should also be the part of the report. Are you getting my point? So how we can include these things in the report, I will tell you. And then in the back, then I will tell you, Deepak, don't worry about that. I will tell you about the user.directory also. Okay. So I don't want to break the flow. Otherwise you will, otherwise I will be diverted. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I will tell you, don't worry. Before end of the session, I will tell you this thing also. Okay. So this the thing is, you can say HTML report we have created first. Okay, to save it. Now, when before suit function will call, it will set up the report, and after that it will run all the test cases. Yes or no? That is the flow. It run all the test cases, something like that. Okay, and then we can you can say include all the test cases in the report. For that purpose, what we have to do? Tell me. What we have to do? Tell me what we have to do. See, yes or no, something. Really, you guys are not revising the external report. So for that typing, let me do one thing. Let me comment this validation. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to write a code here. How you can attach a reporter here. Okay. Now you have there is another class that is called extend test. What is the name of class? Extend test. So in every class, you have to create an object of extend test, give the name test case, and how you will get it, you will see. In the base test class, I have created the extend report reference variable as a static. So we can access it anywhere, right? So how we are going to access? In this case, you will write extend report dot create test. Okay, extend report. So let me write this one, extend report. For that purpose, this is not available here. Anybody can tell me how we can get that access of extend report here? Yes, excellent. In the framework structure, you can remind, we should say extend base test. Now everything which is available on the base test, that will be available here. Now you can see extend report dot create test is available. Okay. Now in the create test, you have to give the name of test case. I recommend that most of the time you should use the same name which you are using as a function name. So it will generate a test case. So if you want to include another test case also in so same code you have to write in every test case. Yes or no? So let me do one thing. For the timing, why I'm disabling, because I want to focus on the report part. So in every test case, what you want to run, you should include this line. Is it okay? Now tell me, this will add this test case in the report, but by default it will show it pass. By default it will show as pass. So now tell me how you can decide that in the report the test case should be pass or test case should be fail. Anybody can remind? Again, in the test case, two functions are there. One is called pass and one is called fail. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
You guys have to revise the Selenium framework part, and other test cases fail. So here you can write something like that: validate API test case passed. I'm just giving a message. You can customize the message according to your requirement. And here I will write test case fail. That's why I was saying, if I will write each and every line of code again and again, but if you are not revising, there is no benefit of that. Now tell me, do you think that when it will attach the report, it will run both the lines? So it will show as a fail because it will include the pass as well as fail. And now if you remind, I told you, actually, according to your logic, you have to run only one thing. Either the pass statement should run or other the fail. That's why it will show visible as a pass or fail. So you can decide any validation. I can show you a simple validation here, like this one. Validable API response. You can say API response and you can write this one. If. Now tell me if API response dot status code equal to 200. So what should be run? This part should be run. Else, if something else is there, ELSE, else anything is there, so my test case should be visible as fail. Yes or no?
Yes.
So
Yes.
same thing I can do in the next test case also. I'm telling you here about you can say only the extend report. I would already explain this thing. Here I'm just giving you can say just recap on that. Okay. So same way, whatever you have learned in whatever you have learned in the Selenium, how you can add extend report, how you can make a validation. I've shown you how you can attach the screenshot also in the extend report. Everything I told you. Okay. So that's why I'm not telling you everything in detail, just making a recap on that. Now just see what will happen when this test case, when this test file will run. You can, what you will do, it will get the report pass or fail. You want to see? Let me run it, this individual file. Okay, you can see it is showing fail. Now you can go and check in the report section. You already got a report or not? Let me refresh. Yes, one report is created. So I will advise open it in a browser. Properties, and I will advise that you can go to this location, and here you can open in a particular browser. Are you able to see the report? Pass and pass, yes or no?
Yes.
So with using little bit effort you can do. Now there is no mean to attach the screenshot, because a screenshot is only valid, you can say valid in case of open browser. Now the thing is that how I can show you that your test case can be fail. So I can, again, I can do one thing. I can make a false assumption. If I want to show, I can assume in the second test case, suppose I assume that if status code is 400. Are you getting my point? I want to show that it is validating. Are you getting my point? Otherwise, the main, you can say proper validation is the pass case should be 200. But I can show you this thing that your report is working and it is showing the pass or fail. That's why I'm taking the wrong assumption. My status code should be 400, that it should be passed. Otherwise, it should be fail. In my case, we are getting 200. So it will be visible as a pass. Yes or no? And second will be fail. So let me run it. Okay, now run it here and refresh. Are you able to see the second one fail? Yes or no?
Yes.
So here I've shown you the report part. I've also told you in the Selenium part that because you are using the extend report, that's why in the testng case, it will always be passed. So if you want to include the testng part also, you have to use the testng assertion also. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Like this is that. If you want to, what is the testng assertion? Assert equals. Okay, if you want to see, let me write that case also. In the, you can say in that case, I can do one thing. I will show you in this part, and that will be applicable in both the case. I will write assert equals. You guys are not revising. Assert equals integer entity. Why I'm writing actual is, this is the actual one. Yes or no?
Yes.
Which you are getting the response. And what is your expected? Let me write the proper way. I have written the 400. Let me write. So this validation will work for the testng, right? And same thing you should apply in the, yes or no? So now what is happening? This is testng assertion and this is extend report assertion. Getting my point?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So here the thing is that when you will run this case, what will happen? It will make that testng assertion as well as extend report. Now, if you want to see, let me make again thing here. If we want to make it 400 here, so let me make 400 here. Now it will be fail in both the case, in the testng report as well as extend report. Yes or no? You are getting my point?
Yes.
Yes.
So let me run it. You can see now in the extend report, it is failing because you have make the assertion for the testng also as in the report. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is extend report. Now again, few things I'm not going to tell you here, like what you can do in your this this framework. You can add your test case with multiple set of data. For example, here we are passing. Here we are running this test case only with one ID. Yes or no? So suppose you
Yes.
want to run the same test case with multiple set of ID, like and your ID are available in the Excel. Yes or no?
Yes.
Again, you have to revise. I am not going to tell you because you have to revise. Everything is same. So for example, here you can say this is the API test data. We have used the same test data in the SOAP-UI also. So suppose for these ID you want to run your test case. Now what you have to do in testng? In testng we use a proper concept for that. What is that? Data provider. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now you can use a data provider. Then you have to make this function as a parameterized. Yes or no? And then you can write a coding for the Excel to fetch the data, and then you can connect with it. Yes or no? I have completed that thing in Selenium. Yes or no? Tell me only this thing.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So now the thing is that if I'm going to, because the data provider part is not related to the, you can say, Selenium automation or rest assured automation. It is simply the concept is that whenever you want to run your test case with some test data as a parameter from the Excel, so you can use it. That is fair enough, yes or no? So still you can do one thing, you can try to implement, this is your assignment, that in your framework you can implement data provider part. So your two things will be clear. In the Selenium you can use it, in the API also clear. So if you have used in Selenium, you can revise it here. If you have not implemented at that time, you can try to implement. You can refer the video of that data provider in your Selenium. That is same is going to help you. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, now other things are also, what is that, if you, this is the case when you want to use the Excel data provider part. Okay, other than that, what is happening, if you want to keep some common data also, like you can see here, you are getting this one, request specification, this one, this is the common, you can say, common code which is applicable in each and every function. Yes or no? This is the common code.
Yes. Yes.
So now if you want to do one thing, that if you want to use this thing as a common, as a part of your framework, you can do one thing. You can, as you have declared the here these variables like extend report, estimate report, same thing you can do it here for. Like how you can declare this thing here. Yes or no? API in the base test. If you want to make a proper structure like public static. Getting my point?
Yes.
So at a, I'm just telling you again, framework is nothing related to the writing the code of Selenium. Selenium is something like that. Whatever you are writing, your code, that should be in a systematic way. You should write common things one place, common code one place. Your report should be a different place. You can say test data is some different place. So you have to use it. Okay. So now if you have written this thing, this is static. So now you can say in every test case, you can do one thing. You can simply write this something like that. API request equal to rest assured given. You have to write only this line. Yes or no? You don't need to write define. In every class, you will do this thing. Ding, 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 and it will work. Getting my point? So it is called framework, whatever common things are there. So now it is creating the structure. What else you can? Okay, why it is giving error? Why it is giving error? I have not. No. API request is already there. Let me check. Okay, I think we have not imported. That's why we use the class name and then automatically load base test dot API request. Create field API is in create field API. I've used some different. Okay, I've defined it two times. Sorry. I've defined it two times. That's why it is giving, and now not giving that, right? And also we don't need to define, already it is imported, I think. Okay, now this thing. Okay, so now in this way you can use this concept also, that you have to define this one at a single place. Now what else we have learned in the Selenium? We can keep this data. We can keep this data in a configuration file. Yes or no?
Yes.
You guys are awesome. Okay, but I will make sure that you will revise. That's why I'm not telling each and every code again, because everything is same. So in that case, your framework needs a folder that is called config. Okay, yes or no? Little bit reminding, config. And what is the structure of config file? New, and you will create file, and the name of the file is project properties. And what was the extension of file? Anybody can tell me? What was the extension of file? Properties. And how we store the data here? Here you can say like you can take the example, what you are using, like you can say report path. You can give the report path instead of giving hard-coded here you can say report path. You can create a variable and you can define the path instead of giving this hard-coded here. You can define the path, not this one in the base test. You can give the report path there. Yes or no?
Yes.
You have learned this thing. We have used the browser path, username, password, test data. We already keep in the configuration file, like properties file in our Selenium, and then we write a code to read it in the utils. Yes or no? And when we write a code to read the data, we can directly put the value here. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
So actually, this is your revision. You can say your framework is totally whatever you have learned in your, you can say in the Selenium, that you have to implement it here, other than the rest assured part. Okay, and this is the reason in the starting I told you that why this session is will be completed in the 5 months, because reason is that most of the things you have learned in the Selenium, like TestNG you have learned there, right? Maven you have learned there, extend report you have learned there. So here we have to focus on the only the rest assured part, and rest I will tell you that how you can add more things in the report in your framework. Like this part you can add this properties concept, you can add data point. So now it's your responsibility that please implement everything, and still you have a problem, then it doesn't matter that you are not getting. You can ask me, Pradeep, I have revised at the time of Selenium, but still I'm facing the problem. So I will tell you again. Okay, but you have to try. Yes or no? That is the expected fair one. Fair enough?
Yes.
Okay, so now again the thing is this is done. So you can say this is the basic framework structure. This is in API we don't need to do so many things like open browser, we don't need a screenshot, so it is not so much complex. So you can say this is the structure of the framework. Okay, now I'll come to the particular question that which Deepak asked me. Deepak, are you there?
Yes, Pradeep.
Yeah. So Deepak, you asked me that what happens sometime you have seen that whenever you are trying to give the path of any file in your system, you instead of that, you have an option. What is the option? I will tell you. What happens? What happened? Everybody see carefully. This is very important thing. Now tell me, what is the name of your project? This one, 18 complete automation batch. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? So what happens whenever you are writing any code in your framework, by default, Java provides you the default path. Java provides you the default path. And what is the default path in your project? The path of the folder, this folder. Are you getting my point? This is the default path. Means if you don't want to give this complete path, you don't need to give the path till now. What is this path? C user THQ Eclipse 18 complete automation. This is the path of your project, and rest of the things are within it, like report folder and then name of the file. Yes or no?
Yes.
So if you want to get this default path, Java provides a proper utility for that. You don't need to write this again. You want to see? Let me show. In Java, there is a class that is called system. There is a class that is called system, and it contains a function get property. You have used the function set property for which purpose in the Selenium? For setting the path of Chrome exe and Firefox exe. Yes or no?
Yes.
So here you have again different function that is called get property. And what is the use of this get property? There is a standard property in Java that is called user.dir. This thing was asking, Deepak was asking this thing, what is this? You will see when I will. What is the written type of get property, Deepak? String.
Yes.
Yes. So now do one thing, just store what is printing here and you will be surprised. A string, I will say base path. I'm just giving a variable name. It doesn't matter you are taking anything else. Now just see what I'm going to print it here and what it will print. That is a good thing for you. Base path. So it will print the path of the project. By default, it does it directly. What happens whenever this code will run, because it is running in the base test class, so it automatically pick the path till the automation project folder. You will see I am going to print it. Let me do one thing. Let me print this one so that you can see that it is printing the base path also. This one and colon. Now let me run it. How I will run it? Let me run the class this one and automatically it will run that part in the console. Yes or no?
Yes.
So now you will be surprised. Let me stop it. We don't need to run complete. Are you able to see this one? Where is that? 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 It printed. I see in just now.
Yes.
Let me run it again. I've seen. Maybe I've cleared it. Let me run it. Let me run it. Let me run it. Test me. Test. So let me run it again. Okay, I think it is clearing. It is clearing the console. So let me do one thing. I can do also one thing. Let me run it and I will capture. Test ng. Print the screen. I can this one. Now tell me, are you? I stopped the termination. Are you able to see this one? Deepak, are you able to see?
Yes, yes.
So Deepak, this is the use. What happens that suppose whenever you are working in your project and you have to write a common path, till you have to write a path in any folder which is available in your project. You don't need to write the path from the starting. You don't need to give the path from the starting. And this is called project relative path. This is called project relative. So now the thing is that how you can utilize it? You can do one thing. Remove this part from here till now. And you can do one thing. You can add a string. Base
Base
path
path plus.
plus. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So Deepak, now you are happy? Because I thought you were thinking that Pradeep is going to tell or not. Now you got the reason?
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. So this is the thing that you can use the base path. Okay. So, but the thing is that why I don't prefer it? Reason is that in your automation, I prefer that you should give the whole path in the configuration file. Yes or no? This one. Yes or no? So if you are using here, so the confusion is that if somebody you have make your configuration file to give the report path, and if you have used the base path here, so what will happen if somebody will try to give the path of a G drive? So your code will say base path plus, again it will G drive, something like that. So your path will be disturbed. Are you getting my point, Deepak?
Yes.
Yes.
If you are not getting, let me tell you again. I'm saying that here you have mentioned that this is the base path and then you are giving the relative path. But if you are using this concept, which is most used, that you are putting your configuration part in the properties file. Now somebody have given this thing, suppose, right? So what you will do, you will access the report file from here, and then you are going to attach here. Yes or no? Now tell me one thing, what will happen? Base path is already C till the time 18 complete automation, and report path again it will take from C, something like that. So your path will be disturbed. Yes or no? So you have to use either concept. Use the user.dir, then don't try to make it configured from the properties file. And if you are not using base path, you can make it. Now you got the point, Deepak?
Yes. Yes.
So
Pradeep,
this is
can we
the
have base path in the project properties also?
project property. Yes. Why can't we use it? That's why I'm saying that if you are using a base path, then there is no use to this one. Yes or no? You don't need
Right.
to use that user DR. You can do one thing in the project properties. You can do everything like that. Is also a good idea. Wow, you guys are awesome. Now you are start rocking. So you can say base path is this one. Yes or no? And then what you can do, you can remove in the report part. You can do one thing, remove this part. Yes or no? So why I'm saying that now, if you want to make everything configurable, you can do in the base path plus report path. It will make a complete path. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you can, it depends on you that how you are going to deal with that. Reason is that, but the person who is working on your team or who is going to use your project, who is going to use your automation project, he should know that how you are dealing in the framework, that you are dealing with base path plus report path. Otherwise, what the person will do, he will assume that he want to save the report in G drive. So he will write the code something like that, G : this thing. Now tell me, this will be a wrong thing. Yes or no? Because in the report part is starting with G and your code is saying that base path plus report path. Are you getting my point?
Yes.
See,
Yes.
so so I am advising that there you should be make sure that how you are going to define this thing. Okay, so that's why I always prefer that you should give the complete path here, and in the code you should not use the base path. Now it's your choice. You can use both the things. Okay, anybody have any question? Anybody have any question? No. So this is your, you can say API rest assured. Now whatever I have told you, if you will implement, it will work in the same way like Selenium automation frame. So how much scope is there which you have to implement as an assignment? You have to add data provider. You have to write a code to read the data from project properties file. Then you have to remove all the hard-coded value wherever you are using the hard-coded value. Okay. Now you have to use the Excel part also. Okay. Reporting part I have already done. So is this clear? Anybody have any doubt in this framework? When you complete it, when you will try to complete it, then you can ask me the question that Pradeep, you have told this thing at the time of selenium, but still have it out. I will complete on that. Okay. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
So your rest assured part is completed. Now what happens in the next session, we are going to start the J meter. So in J meter, I'm going to tell you how you can test the performance of the APIs using J meter. And trust me, that is very, very important. And it is going to make an add-on on your profile, because now you can say, I'm good in Selenium automation, I'm good in Java, I'm good in API automation using SOAP UI, I'm good in automation in rest assured automation. Now you can say, I can make the performance testing automation also of the APIs. So it is going to add some more. So I hope everybody will join that session in the next week. Okay. So I'm binding the session for the day, and I will upload this recording within 1 hour. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Pradeep.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.